Welcome to the Completionist Show, the show where I'll guide you through games, helping you get the Platinum Trophy, 100% game completion, or in this case, every Steam achievement. In part 2, I'm going to continue where I left off, completing all of the side activities, getting most of miscellaneous achievements, and prepping for the end of the game. It's going to be a very collectible and side content heavy due to this game having a lot of collectibles. We were able to obtain 14 out of 43 achievements in the previous part, and in this one we'll obtain additional 23 achievements, leaving 5 achievements for the third and final part, which will be complemented by a review. If you want to know what achievements we got in the previous part, I recommend watching the first one, having a link in the description and on the informational panel. If you want to check a specific achievement, there are going to be timetables of said achievements in the description. Without further ado, my name is Wedoo, and let's continue. In this game, I decided to complete every single batch of side activities before going to the next one, rather than going to clear district by district. It can be a little bit exhausting in the end, but I can track down what I have done with more ease. To clear everything off the map, you need to clear every single side task associated with Miles, Peter, and the ones that both can do. I started off with Miles because the next story mission is with Peter and I was close to getting an achievement with Miles. And I decided to complete every Marko's memories because it's also easier with him. By recovering the sand crystals, we get fractions of Sandman memories talking about a certain threat, which in this case was Craven. And by collecting even more sand crystals, we get updates about Sandman's well-being, coming back to a much better mental state. In the midst of it all, I was able to defeat my 100th enemy with evolved Venom abilities, unlocking Evolved. Because I was in downtown Brooklyn, I swung into the big Apple Baller Stadium in the corner of the map and rounded the bases, unlocking Home Run. After getting the last Sun Crystal, we get a call from Flint Marko, pleading us to check on his daughter just to let him know that she's safe. So we go directly there, deliver the Sand Crystal statue, unlocking Grains of Sand. The following assignment was to get all the photo ops to deliver to Robbie, being swift to accomplish, and again, because I was in the vicinity, I swung to the Trinity Church and interacted with the science trophy that Finn and Miles won together, unlocking Just Let Go. And minutes after, I snapped my last photo, unlocking New York, New York. The text stashes were the next side activity on the list, being very few and easy to get. From the stashes, we get a lot of backstory from Uncle Aaron and his Prowler days, of course adding even more depth to his character. During the collection of the stashes, I took time to swing it without direction, spam the air tricks to get 30 in a row without hitting the ground, unlocking Hank 10 after a couple of tries. Then I just jumped to the ground and before hitting it, I attempted an air trick and failed, landing on the ground, unlocking Splat. Before long, I got the last Prowler stash, unlocking an additional Prowler stash and the side quest Room for the Future. Miles learns that Uncle Aaron, with the help of Rio Morales, has gotten a lease to his own apartment in the same building as Miles and Rio, sharing a tender moment, unlocking co-signing. The Cultural Museum questline was the following, needing Miles to investigate the break-in that occurred in the Cultural Museum. We track down the gang of thieves, however they do not have any of the music equipment. So Miles goes to a park to search for Theo, the trumpet player that was talking about the missing equipment, directing us to the Keynote Music Store. We witness the store ransacked, defeat the museum burglars, and find Eugene, the store owner, recovering the saxophone, completing Bebop. In Art Bop, Miles receives a message from the boss of the burglars, which is none other than the big donor of the Cultural Museum, Darren. After taking care of the burglars, Darren runs away by car, so we swing after him, learning that he has organized the heist because of his father's legacy, and get him arrested. With everything delivered to the Cultural Museum, Miles goes to the exhibition and learns more about the community, unlocking My Community. Continuing with these side stories, the Brooklyn Visions side quests were next, starting with BV Club Fair, needing to investigate the disappearance of a missing teacher, tracking her to the Dawson Arbor, taking care of the copious enemies, and taking Miss Ferguson back to Brooklyn Vision. In Homecoming, we help a fellow student with a proposal and the setting up of said proposal, needing to defeat a group of enemies because of a generator that VJ needed, setting everything up for the proposal so it goes smoothly. In Senior Prank, we investigate the disappearance of the school mascot due to the rivalry between Brooklyn Visions and Midtown, and Midtown kidnapped Lance, Brooklyn Visions' school mascot, and Miles needs to investigate several clues and complete a couple of tasks to find Lance's location and taking him back to the campus. Lights camera action follows up, needing Miles to repair drone for videos, get several photos of the students, and chase around the drone to get the best aerial montage of the whole campus to help out a senior project. Completing the last 3 assignments will unlock a gift. The students of Brooklyn Visions will join in together to reward Miles for his cooperation, needing to go up the rooftop garden to pick up a new suit, finishing the Brooklyn Visions sad story and unlocking Brooklyn Pride. I started gathering another collectible, the spider bots, and with these ones I had a little bit of difficulty because they are not very big and there are 42 of them. Unlike the previous side activities, this one can be obtained by either Miles and Peter. And as you can see, I decided to go with Miles again on this one because in the end it will make sense. While I was collecting the Spider-Bot, I also collected some tech parts scattered around the city to make a dent on another achievement. One by one I got Spider-Bots either with the design from Spider-Man variants and Spider-Man villains. After getting the last one, Genki calls Miles informing that he got hold on the strange signal that the Spider-Bots have been emitting, pinpointing Miles to the location in end, which funnily enough was right next to the last Spider-Bot I got. At the location, a strange portal opens up with Delilah, a bartender, on the other side, requesting the Spider-Bots back, opening up a chest, collecting every single one, thanking and suggesting Miles to be on the alert if a certain Miguel may ask for the whereabouts of the spider, unlocking funky wireless protocols. One of the last things I need to do is to complete the Mysteriums, and by going to the first one, Quentin Beck will be there requesting Miles to complete them and save people trapped inside them. While doing the Mysteriums, we get recordings of the backstory behind the Mysteriums, adding even more depth into the creation of these challenges and the redemption of Quentin. The Mysteriums are basically fighting challenges, almost like the Taskmaster challenges from Marvel Spider-Man or the Spider-Man training challenges from Miles Morales. Some of them are easier than the others, but if you take your time, you can get the gold ranking, which is the highest, without much difficulty. When completing 9 Mysteriums, a 10th will open where everything began, Coney Island. When entering, Miles witnesses Quentin Beck putting on his Mysterio persona, trapping him inside a snow globe, needing to fight a plethora of Mysterio's clones, chasing him through the snow globe, and realizing that the real Quentin Beck is also trapped in the Mysterium. Miles fights off Mysterio one final time, managing to escape. However, he is still inside Mysterio's domain, needing to fight him again. With force, we open up the game room, see that Quentin Beck's assistants are the ones taking over the Mysterium, and Quentin Beck is imprisoned inside. After the NYPD takes over the assistants, Quentin gives Miles the last recording, being the last piece of the puzzle behind the whole madness, bidding Miles farewell, unlocking Behind the Masks. The last thing we can do with Miles is part of the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man app, so we start with finding Grandpa, needing to find an older citizen throughout the park of downtown Brooklyn, getting pieces of information and clues about his whereabouts, finding him sitting on a bench reminiscing about his late wife. Graffiti Trouble is the next one on the list, getting to play as Ailey, painting over several graffitis, witnessing a troublemaker on the roof, and after getting over the obstacles, Ailey helps the frustrated teen enjoy her art, making a piece together. Monster in Queens is the last app request and side activity we can do with Miles. In Queens, Emma, an elderly and blind resident, has requested help from an animal that has been disturbing her and her backyard. So when investigating, Miles learns that this animal is quite different from the others, and when discovering its location, Miles learns that it is an hunter beast. So after fighting it, Yankee uploads millions of puppy training videos. More hunter beasts appear, so we chase after Fido, the friendly one, and help him take down the hunters and hunter beasts. Then take him to Ima, getting Fido to her and completing the requests. By completing these requests, I collected the remaining tech parts to get 10,000 tech parts, unlocking Resourceful. Finally, I switched over to Peter, and because I was halfway done, I went in on the remaining app requests, starting with Photo Help, where Peter helps Mina, a starting photographer, and reminisces about his first days on the Daily Bugle. When cutting through a park, we help out a citizen to fend off against a group of bandits. Peter finally delivers his photo to James on Jameson and poses for a photo for Mina. The last app request comes from the financial district and from Howard. We look at the sunset with Howard for a little bit, and then Howard requests for his pigeons to be freed. So we go over throughout New York City, swing and glide with Howard's pigeons next to us. Peter decides to leave the pigeons at the park in Queens, and when coming back to the spot where they were, Peter realizes that Howard passed away, bidding him farewell, unlocking a new adventure by helping Howard and friendly neighborhood Spider-Man after completing all of the app requests. I continued my progress of clearing the map with the Flame storyline with Everything Burns. We side with Wraith, going over the cult hideout, clearing out copious cultists, and when trying to discover where the prisoners were, the cult leader, Cletus Cassidy, appears on the screen, calling out more of his cultists. With the help of Wraith, we get the job done with more ease and get the people safe. Wraith calls Peter requesting his help to take down an hospital headquarters for the cultists, starting "You know you had it in you." Approaching the hospital, Peter notices that several cultists are unconscious, so we take care of the rest. Then investigate deep inside the hospital and find out that the cultists trapped Wraith on the other side of the rubble. Taking care of them, Peter clears the rubble and finds that Wraith and Cletus Cassidy have been fighting, witnessing Wraith almost killing him. So he traps Cletus and fights Wraith. This fight can be a little bit difficult due to her being very mobile. Taking care of the first elf bard makes Peter grab Cletus to get him out of the hospital. However, he had other plans, activating his well-placed bombs. Wraith goes after them both, initiating the second phase of the fight, much harder than the last one. Following the fight, Peter saves Wraith from the falling debris, and in response, Wraith tells Peter to get his priorities straight. Genki reports to Peter that Cletus Cassidy has been spotted in Brooklyn, so checking the place out starts "It was meant for me." Peter checks some plans and notices that the Crimson Hour might happen in a scrapyard nearby. By going there, Peter sees a plethora of cultists, so we take care of them and disarm the bombs that they have set. Witnessing Wraith having problems, Peter jumps in to take care of the cultists and help Wraith. Both witness a train bursting with speed going in their direction. Peter tries to stop it, however, it does prove useless. Cletus Cassidy reveals that his whole plan was to get hold of a symbiote, pouring gas on Spider-Man, trying to set him on fire while he goes away. Wraith saves Peter at the last minute and informs that when she finds Cletus, she will inform Peter, bidding him farewell, unlocking Crimson Hour. The next side activity that I decided to do was completing most of the Emily May Foundation experiments. I say most because if you are doing them before beating the game, as I am, you can only complete 8 out of 9 experiments. They are completely easy to do, only 2 of them having extra difficulty, but nothing too extreme. In my last Emily May Foundation experiment, I used a symbiote ability for the 25th time during the symbiote surge, unlocking Surge. With only one left to do and only available in the post-game, I quickly went to the next task in hand, Unidentified Targets. They appear mostly on the rooftops of the buildings and they are only 9, not being difficult to complete, but some of them are a little bit annoying. The Talon drones are targeting several people in New York, and every single one Peter gets is one step closer to finding out who and why. After chasing the first 8, another one appears in Midtown, and going there, Peter investigates the computer, needing to go to a certain penthouse and take care of a couple of hunters. Peter learns that this penthouse is from Chameleon, Craven's half-brother, and that Craven was trying to hunt down Chameleon as well. When trying to investigate further, a poison gas fills the room, so Peter gets out, and in the distance, we see Chameleon watching over him, unlocking Data Collector. Hunter bases were the next item on the list, complete, being much like the enemy bases from the previous games, with a little bit of a twist. After clearing out one of the hunter bases, we can locate the next bases and pinpoint specific parts of the biggest base in the district so it can be weakened, helping us out in the clearing process. While completing the hunter bases, I got enough tech parts to purchase the remaining gadget upgrades, unlocking to the max. Fast forwarding the completion process, it didn't take long to complete them, and in the end we get to learn more about Craven's family through audio recordings found in the bases, unlocking Seek and Destroy. The last thing we need to do is to clear the Symbiote Nests. All we need to do is to protect the Sonic Burst Bomb from being destroyed so the Symbiote Nests can be destroyed. With the help of the Sonic Burst gadgets, the Symbiote abilities and the Symbiote Surge, we can quickly take care of them and without much effort. While doing them, I got enough tech parts to purchase the remaining tech upgrades for the Spider-Man suit, unlocking fully loaded, and after a couple, I managed to reach level 60, the max level, unlocking amazing. I managed to complete the remainder of the Symbiote Nests in no time, unlocking Exterminator, and because I completed every task and got every single collectible, this meant I completed 100% of the districts, unlocking Superior. At this point we are done with all of the side content of the game and have completed 38 achievements. However, we still have 5 achievements left to obtain. I still need to finish the remainder of the main story and complete the New Game Plus, which will be the topic of the third and final part. Like I did previously, I will have a review of the game and what is coming next to the channel in the following part. If you enjoyed this new format, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments what I could improve or what you would like to see next. Thank you so much for watching and see you on the next one.